This is where, by tradition, the American West begins. The continent's greatest river, the Mississippi. It courses through the heartland of the nation, 2,348 miles from Little Lake Itasca in northwestern Minnesota to the Gulf of Mexico. With its several thousand tributaries, the Mississippi drains 1/8 of the continent, waters from 30 states, from some of the richest agricultural land the world has ever known. Yet it is not the great power of the Mississippi, nor the wealth that it brings to the marketplace, that give it unique stature among the great rivers of the world. It is rather the fascinating story of a people whose way of life and culture are inextricably linked to this great waterway. The Mississippi is both a symbol and a crossroads. To westward-looking adventurers of a young nation, on the eastern bank stood the edge of a rapidly growing new world. On the western bank, the beginning of the wilderness. For the French explorer La Salle, the Mississippi was a high road to empire. In the autumn of 1681, La Salle paddled the length of the Mississippi, naming the vast domain Louisiana in honor of the French king Louis XIV. For an 18th century trapper and fur trader, the river was a pathway to the riches of the Northwest Territory. For a 19th century homesteader moving west, the Mississippi was the gateway to new beginnings. The soul of the southern part of the Mississippi is found in New Orleans, especially in the 100 blocks of the old city that spread out from the riverside buildings bordering Jackson Square in the French Quarter. French and Spanish, Creole and African. At one time, a half-dozen cultures came together here in the French Quarter. Through the years, this is a city that has never forgotten how to eat and drink well, has always been ready to throw a party, and remembers the way to play the music that was born here next to the Mississippi. From both banks of the river north of New Orleans spreads the rich farmland of the South, the setting for another way of life, and, it would seem, a different age. Some of the great plantation houses still stand, remnants of the day when cotton was king, hoop skirts were the fashion, and gentlemen fought duels of honor. Nottaway Plantation at White Castle, near Baton Rouge, Louisiana, claims title to the largest surviving plantation in the South. The main house alone has 64 rooms. The cotton and sugar fortunes, as well as the gracious lifestyle of the plantation owners, was of course built upon a foundation of slave labor. That foundation crumbled in the war that tore our nation in half. Long before the United States acquired the lands of the Mississippi from the French through the Louisiana Purchase of 1803, this river was recognized as the vital artery into America's heartland. Thus, here at Vicksburg in 1863 was fought the battle that gave the North control of the Mississippi. Vicksburg's National Military Cemetery memorializes the place where the Confederacy lost one of the most crucial battles of the Civil War, and where thousands in uniforms of both blue and gray lost their lives. "60 miles north of Vicksburg is Natchez, which survived the Civil War virtually intact. Consequently, this city has the Southland's greatest concentration of grand antebellum homes, most dating from the era when this was Dixie's center of wealth. "630 miles upriver in Missouri is a quaint neighborhood that almost every American will recognize, for the residents are old friends from our childhood. Hannibal, hometown of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. The creator of the adventures of Tom and Huck, Samuel Clemens, took his pen name, Mark Twain, directly from his life as a pilot on the Mississippi River steamboats. Mark Twain was riverboat slang for 2 fathoms deep, safe water, just deep enough to be navigated.
Piloting on the Mississippi River was not work for me. It was play. Delightful play, vigorous play, adventurous play, and I loved it. A steamboat is as beautiful as a wedding cake, but without the complications.
Today, there are only 2 such vessels left on the river, the Delta Queen and the Mississippi Queen. But from the mid-19th century until the Great Depression, glamorous boats like them plied the river, carrying a colorful cast of passengers: Southern belles, cotton kings, gun-toting gamblers, sugar barons, and cure-all salesmen. Indeed, these waters have always seemed to nurture a special kind of human legend. Perhaps it's because the shifting sandbars and channels, the floodwaters, and the sheer force of powerful currents are a constant challenge to human ingenuity, and a continuing reminder that the final word here comes from only one source: Old Man River.